Well, hello, everyone. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thanks so much for joining us on the ABC10 app. We start tonight with breaking news. An oil spill has closed lanes on Highway 50 near 15th Street in Sacramento during the busy evening commute. Heads up if you're heading this way. CHP says this is impacting westbound traffic, as you see right here. So please find an alternate route if you can.
We're told 3 lanes are closed and there is no estimated time of reopening. This all started around 4:30 today, and as soon as we get more information, we will be certain to bring it to you.
Taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight, if we can. President Trump is set to deliver his State of the Union address in just about 30 minutes. He is expected to rally support around his administration's agenda.
Yeah, the speech comes as recent polls show the majority of Americans disapprove of how the president has performed so far in his second term. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest from Capitol Hill.
In a matter of hours, President Trump is set to address Congress and the nation in his first State of the Union address of his second term. The expected theme, the economy.
The president's going to make the case that 3 more years with him in the White House and with Republicans on Capitol Hill, we can finally achieve the American dream in this country again.
The administration has received optimistic economic markers in recent weeks, with better than expected jobs and inflation reports, and the Dow crossing 50,000 for the first time ever. But the cornerstone of the president's economic agenda was derailed last week when the Supreme Court ruled most of Trump's tariffs unconstitutional. Only one of the justices he handpicked for the court during his first term sided with him in this case.
I think it's an embarrassment to their families. You want to know the truth.
The Supreme Court justices who choose to attend typically sit just feet from the president. Trump is also facing declining approval ahead of this year's midterm elections. The latest ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows 60% of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing. Democrats are trying to gain some of the support Trump has lost by holding a separate rally tonight. Dozens of Democratic lawmakers say they will skip the president's speech altogether.
There will be some members who attend in silent defiance, and there will be other members who will choose not to attend, and it's up to every individual member to make the decision that makes the most sense for their constituents.
Newly elected Governor of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, will deliver the Democrats' response following the president's speech tonight. Her team says she will also focus on affordability and the, quote, chaos the administration has caused in American communities. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The State of the Union address starts tonight at 6 p.m. Then join us for post-address analysis and local news on a special edition of ABC 10 News at 10 p.m., followed by late news tonight at 11.
Now to continuing coverage tonight in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The Guthrie family is now offering $1 million for help in getting their mom Nancy back.
Yeah, Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie made the announcement on Instagram on Tuesday.
Every hour and minute and second and every long night has been agony since then, of worrying about her and fearing for her. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now.
The search is now in the 4th week. Savannah says she understands her mom, quote, may be gone, but still the family is offering the money for information leading to her location. The strongest piece of evidence are surveillance camera images the FBI released. ABC News sources say the image showing a man without a backpack may have been captured on Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera sometime before February 1st when she was reported missing.
The gap could help explain why investigators have asked Guthrie's neighbors to check their home security systems for video going back to January 1st, a month before she was taken. The Guthrie family is also donating $500,000 to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Savannah says she hopes the attention paid to her mom will extend to all missing persons cases.
And continuing coverage in Mexico tonight, burned vehicles, military patrols, and guarded infrastructure could be seen across major cities today.
This as authorities work to restore order after a wave of cartel violence. Drone video shows a charred passenger bus blocking a bridge while armored military vehicles secured the area. Soldiers patrolled roadways and convoys, some stationed behind mounted weapons. Security was also tightened at a local prison where police trucks guarded damaged entrances after inmates reportedly escaped during the violence.
And in Puerto Vallarta, activity appeared to be slowly returning to normal. Tonight, we're hearing from a family from Orangeville still stuck in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, they went there to celebrate their daughter's 18th birthday. Take a look. Things took a dramatic turn Sunday when they say they started to see smoke, and they say their flights were canceled due to the cartel-related violence. They say at one point their hotel ran out of water, and most places also ran out of food.
The family says they were supposed to fly out yesterday, but they had to rebook a flight for tomorrow, and they're still not certain if they'll actually be able to leave then.
It's surreal.
It does not feel real at all.
Very intense is what I would describe it as. A very intense situation.
The family now has a GoFundMe for anyone who wishes to help them cover the unexpected expenses they've had to pay because of flight changes.
Tonight marks 4 years since Russian forces invaded Ukraine. The invasion is Europe's biggest conflict since World War II. As the fighting now enters its 5th year, there are no signs of an end to the conflict. Here's a look at the numbers. At least 8 million soldiers have been killed, wounded, or missing on both sides. The UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission says 15,000 civilians have died in Ukraine, with more than 700 being children. Tonight, hundreds of people are expected to gather on the west side of the capital. The Sunflower Society of Sacramento is holding a rally right now to honor Ukraine's resilience and call for continued support in their fight for freedom.
Happening right now, hundreds of Twin Rivers Unified teachers are gathering outside the district office as contract negotiations continue. The union has voted to authorize a strike, and that could become the first in the history of the district. Twin Rivers Unified Educators, or TRU, after almost a year of negotiations, is seeking lower class sizes, improved student services, and more competitive pay and benefits. We spoke to teachers who also claim the district has spent money on outside contracts instead of classroom needs.
What makes it different is that we have a very financially strong district. We have rising enrollment, which means money coming in. We have numerous other ways that our district is proving that they have the funds to settle this contract and need to.
We also reached out to the district that says it continues to bargain in good faith and is working toward a contract that increases compensation while protecting long-term financial stability. Both sides are now in the state-required fact-finding stage. A neutral panel will review proposals before any strike can legally happen. They say that report is due out on March 2nd. The school board meeting starts at 6 p.m. tonight, and we'll have the full story on what comes out of that meeting on Late News tonight at 11.
Nearly 70 workers at the Jelly Belly factory in Fairfield are set to lose their jobs. The company that owns the factory, Ferrera, says they're laying off 69 corporate employees from their Fairfield location. But the company says this won't have any direct impact on customers or its products. The company says the reduction in force comes after careful integration across various corporate functions. Ferrera bought Jelly Belly back in 2023.
Coming up, South Lake Tahoe bracing for possible flooding as heavy rain moves through the area.
Plus, a gray wolf caught on camera just feet away from a home.
Tracking our atmospheric river storm as it moves our way overnight tonight, the weather impacts included.
Well, thousands in the Northeast remain without power amid freezing temperatures and heavy snow. It's all leading to continued travel disruptions, including hundreds of canceled flights. As for those impacted by outages, companies and elected officials are asking for patience, saying yes, they were prepared for this, a staged cruise, but it's going to take some time to repair those power lines. And again, it could be several days for some of the hardest hit areas until the lights come back on.
After a week of heavy snow, South Lake Tahoe is now shifting from digging out to watching for water. Rain moving through the area today, combined with melting snow at lower elevations, is raising concerns about localized flooding. South Lake Tahoe officials say their public works crews have been clearing storm drains and grates to help keep water moving and reduce the risk of street flooding. ABC10 was there today and talked with neighbors.
If we don't have a good snowfall and a good pack to last through the summer, then we start going back into drought. Once we go into drought, we all know the problems from that and the dangers.
The city says free sand and sandbags are available at Fire Station 3 and the Recreation Center. Residents are asked to bring their own shovel.
And rain has been moving through the region. I want to show you a live look over downtown Sacramento and up in the Sierra on Highway 80 at Kingvale. So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods to help time it all out and give us an idea of exactly what to expect.
Yeah, those roads are looking much better than they were a few days ago. So this is a good sign.
It certainly is. And how quickly that snow was melting. I mean, you started to see patches of ground there on the side. So this is going to be an interesting story we continue to track through tonight, especially with the potential for some of that to become flooding issues for tonight, especially as the rain continues to fall. We're already watching that along the northwest coast. Snow has only been falling at the highest elevations. Plus, we've had some gusty winds in the high country. This comes as the line of that heavier rain starting to press towards the capital region. Now, it's been struggling through most of the day, but overnight tonight through early tomorrow is when we're going to see the bulk of that rain moving through. And it's got a great tap coming in from the tropics here, so it's going to continue to feed that line of clouds with the moisture. Only have picked up about 1/10 of an inch or so of rain for the valley and the foothills, about 1/2 inch or so for South Lake Tahoe and Oroville. Much higher totals closing in on 2 inches now for Ukiah, where we're seeing some of the bigger widespread flood concerns. Flood watch continues in that region through tonight. Temperatures meantime in the 60s, low 70s for the valley for today, 50s and 60s for the foothills, and 40s to almost 50 this afternoon for the Tahoe Basin. So a much different story than what we were tracking last week. We have rain right now in Marysville and Tahoe. Right now, clouds are increasing for Sacramento. Still dry for Stockton and Modesto. We're at 64 and 63 degrees respectively. Looking at our hourly weather, we only bottom out in the upper 50s. It's going to be a warm start tomorrow, despite the fact we have the rain coming in overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we start to see drying weather. Not necessarily a sunny day, though. We're going to hang with the cloud cover and a slightly higher humidity, feeling a little sticky out there for tomorrow. Wind advisory continues through 7 p.m. for the Tahoe Basin. We're still anticipating gusts that are over 50, 60 miles per hour until we get to the early evening hours. Then those wind gusts will start to back off. Meantime, for the valley, we really haven't had to deal much with the wind for today, nor the showers. That's coming later on tonight. Avalanche warning continues through tomorrow for the greater Tahoe backcountry, not necessarily for ski resorts, for the backcountry. A look at our total snowfall, only about 1 inch to 2 inches if we're lucky for tonight. Most of this, again, is going to be a rain event for the Tahoe Basin. Highest elevations, 9,000, 10,000 feet, no problem. We'll get the snow, but the lower elevations, certainly it is going to be rain. About 1/2 inch or so coming in for the valley, that main line coming in overnight tonight, and then it starts to clear out very quickly for tomorrow. Our high pressure ridge starts to build back. Now, we've got an incoming weather system that's trying to make it through that high pressure ridge. That's on tap for the weekend. So we're going to be watching that very closely as we wrap up February and head into March. Spring's just around the corner here. Highs are going to feel very spring-like, near 50 tomorrow for the Tahoe region, 50s and lower 60s throughout the foothills. And then as we head towards the coast, we're in the 60s to lower 70s for that Wednesday forecast. And we see that as well represented widespread throughout the valley forecast. A little bit of shower activity to get through early tomorrow morning for the Tahoe Basin. Then we're dry, but watching the opportunity for more showers returning for our weekend outlook. As you can see, for the next couple of days, it's going to get quite warm. Highs will be near 70, putting us about 10 degrees above average. And then we'll watch for the chance for showers Saturday and Sunday. Right now, we don't have it in because it just doesn't look like there's much consistency. But since it's the weekend, we'll be watching it closely.
Absolutely. Perfect timing. And those temperatures increasing just slightly. Here come the spring vibes.
I know.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that rain for the weekend.
Yes.
Possible. Okay, Monica, thank you. Well, take a look at this. A gray wolf came within 10 feet of a home in the Sierra Valley, and the animal was caught on camera, as you see there, roaming the area. Homeowner Mike Lent has photos and video on trail cameras at his remote home near the Antelope Valley Wildlife Area.
What a video. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife confirmed the animal is indeed a gray wolf after Lent shared the images. Officials say the home is in an area where wolf activity is common. Lent says, though, he hasn't had any livestock losses, and neither have his immediate neighbors. Well, that is good news. It wasn't necessarily mugging for the camera, but it wasn't camera shy. We do like the look of those majestic animals, but for me, I am staying away. I am not going to encroach on his territory.
Just out doing a little hunting, looking around. Thankfully, though, there have been no loss of livestock.
Yes, he said they were all good, so that's good news.
Okay. Well, coming up next at 5:30, debate over California's gas tax continues. The latest proposal at the state capitol now facing pushback. Well, today, Assembly and Senate Republicans call for an immediate one-year suspension of California's gas tax, which is one of the highest in the nation.
Pushback by Democrats followed soon after as the new pieces of legislation await their future. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh has reaction from both sides.
Pause the state gas tax immediately.
Both Assembly and Senate Republicans say that's their latest effort to tackle California's affordability crisis. AB 1745 would pause California's 61 cents per gallon gas tax for 1 year. Republican State Senator Tony Strickland's bill would do the same, but adds up to $1.08 in savings, suspending the gas tax, state taxes, the low carbon fuel standards tax, and cap and trade tax, the various costs that make up the total cost of gasoline per gallon, according to the California Energy Commission.
We need to get ahead of this crisis before it really hits.
The loss in gas tax revenue for the state, which would be about $8 billion a year according to the California Department of Finance, could be made up with the general fund, Republicans say.
Well, the headline that we see slip off the lips of Governor Newsom is we are the fourth largest economy in the world, right? So we know we have money. We have a spending problem in California.
California doesn't have a revenue problem. It has a wasteful spending problem.
Legislators argue California has had an unexpected revenue surplus, as often noted by the governor. But what about the budget deficit?
Although we're asking for a revenue decrease, we're asking even more for expenditure decreases. We are in a deficit, but my colleagues in the supermajority can find money for their pet projects.
State Senator Marie Alvarado Gil says this is a good opportunity for California to tighten its belt and instead spend money on voter-approved projects such as the Tougher on Crime Proposition 36.
Driving isn't optional. It's essential. So, Governor, if you're listening, and I hope you are, you can lead us in the right direction.
A spokesperson for Governor Newsom pointed us to a 2024 press conference.
There's nothing about repealing the gas tax that guarantees lower gas prices. Investments that are going to roads and bridges, culverts, investments in infrastructure that would be lost.
Good news is that it would give some short-term relief.
But the assembly member says he's concerned about the long term, with studies showing gas prices may reach $8 a gallon by the end of the year with recent refinery closures.
If you cut cap and trade and you incentivize your refineries to stay here and incentivize drilling and get oil, gas drilling, we wouldn't have a problem.
That was our Jenny Huh reporting. Both bills will be heard in their first committee hearings in the coming weeks. All eyes are now on likely how they are to advance, given the quick pushback by Democrats.
Republicans continue to call for an emergency session in light of refinery closures.
Still to come, get this, look at that. Several cows took an unplanned field trip onto the interstate. How this highway herd headliner unfolded. Let's take a live look at the U.S. Capitol right now. President Trump is set to deliver his State of the Union address in just minutes. You can watch it right here on ABC10. He is expected to rally support around his administration's agenda.
And then be sure to join us for post-address analysis and local news on a special edition of ABC10 News at 10 p.m., followed by late news tonight at 11.
But first, in upstate New York, drivers had to move over after several cows wandered right onto the interstate.
Okay, so take a look at this. This was the scene Monday afternoon. Look at that. Authorities say 3 cows escaped from a livestock trailer that was disabled and parked on the shoulder. Traffic flow was delayed as they worked to try and catch the animals. Now, we're told 2 of the cows, they were actually able to catch those 2 fairly quickly. But one of them managed to, as you see here, zigzag in and out of traffic.
Oh, those guys have their work cut out for them. I do not envy them. Eventually, all 3 were wrangled by their owners. State police say there were no reported injuries. All's well that ends well.
Indeed, huh?
Thanks so much for joining us. Watch us anytime, any day on your schedule. Just download the free ABC10 app.
Blinding snow, and then the 2 dogs he spotted lost and wandering in that.